My initial impression with this unboxing experience is origami. Cool. This is pretty colorful. But then I started to think about when I opened my original Apple Watch stainless steel, and I remember thinking, wow, this is a premium unboxing experience. Don't get me wrong, I think I understand why Apple changed the packaging, but with the watch costing about $200 more than the original, I was kind of expecting a little more of a premium experience. The little pouch that holds the watch is a nice touch, but I think I mostly missed the case that originally came with the first stainless steel watch. It made me feel like I was getting more of a timepiece or a piece of jewelry rather than another product in Apple's line. When I took the watch out of the pouch, I realized, man, this thing is beautiful. In my opinion, easily the best looking Apple Watch ever. The design is so sleek and seamless, I couldn't wait to try it on. I paired it with my phone using the custom image on the watch, and to my surprise, it seemed like it only took a few minutes to restore from my backup. I had gotten so used to the old Apple Watch taking so long, I was getting ready to do something to pass the time. While setting up, I immediately noticed how snappy it was when interacting with the screen. Also, it made me realize how my patience was beginning to run out with the original Apple Watch. Once it was up and running, all I could think of is how big and beautiful the screen is. It's just gorgeous. The first thing I set up was one of the new infograph watch faces. I could see so much information at a glance. This quickly became my favorite watch face. The second thing I tried was the Race to Speak feature, and that worked just as I expected. Now I can control my smart home devices without having to say any wake words. And with Apple's new Shortcuts app, you can do even more with fewer commands. Let me know if you want to see me do a video on Apple Shortcuts. I think that'll be interesting. I experienced amazing battery life compared to my old watch. I was able to get through the whole weekend on the original charge straight out of the box. But when I took the watch to work, I began to notice something that became a bit of a nuisance. Now, as an instructor, I have to do daily lectures, and a few times the Race to Speak feature was triggered inadvertently with Siri's response disrupting my lecture. I know I could have disabled the feature, but it's one of my favorite things about the watch. So I just made some conscious adjustments to my body language, and it was no longer an issue. Throughout the week, I started to have this feeling like I've had this screen size on my wrist before. Then I remembered when I had the iPod Nano 6th generation, I remember getting a watch band that housed the Nano in such a way that it could be worn like a watch. Come to think of it, I remember my wife saying Apple has a tendency to test the market with products that you would never guess were actual prototypes or beta tests. That kind of explains why so many companies made the watch bands for the Nano. It seems like the Nano was just that for the Apple Watch. So much so that when the original Apple Watch was announced, some people mistook my Nano for the Apple Watch. On to the specs. This year, we have some of the same specs as the Series 3, like water resistance, Wi-Fi, and a cellular option. But in the Series 4, all those features have been improved and some new ones have been added. Thanks to the new ceramic back, the Wi-Fi and cellular are way more reliable. They've also improved the heart monitor to make it more accurate. The new digital crown now works with the Taptic engine to give you some feedback when you're turning the dial, which kind of reminds me of when you're changing the time on a traditional timepiece. It's just something you have to feel for yourself, and in my opinion, it gives the Series 4 more of a premium feel. The next improvement that I really noticed is the new louder speakers. It's so much easier to hear Siri or phone calls, it really makes a huge difference. And now we have this fall detection feature that can tell if you've taken a tumble, and it will call 911 and your emergency contact, which can be a lifesaver. And the feature that everybody's talking about, the ECG or electrocardiogram, is going to be a game changer in the smartwatch industry. And it can have the potential not only to save lives, but can make a huge impact on what we know about heart disease. So if you were waiting to buy an Apple Watch, there's never been a better time. Not only is this the top-selling smartwatch, but it's the best-selling watch in the world, full stop. So if you have an iPhone and you're thinking about getting a wearable, the question isn't what smartwatch you should get, it's which Apple Watch. Thanks again for watching, and the next video will be my long-term review of the Note 9. Later.